What's good, world? It's your dude Darryl K coming to you today with our group discussion. And our group discussion today is basically rumors. What's going on out there? More in particular, movie castings. There's a lot of stuff that's been happening out there in the comic book universe. We got Ben Affleck as Batman. We got James Spader coming out saying, "Hey guys, I'm Ultron. Y'all ready?" And we also got the rumor of Bryan Cranston being Lex, which is a confirmed rumor. Then it was debunked. Then it was confirmed again. So we don't know what's going on.
Hearing
So
all kinds of things.
let's talk about this, guys. First, let's get to the big, obvious topic at hand. Your boy, Daredevil. It's now Batman.
See, I'll throw that out right now. Daredevil was a poorly scripted movie, which we did say on our last group discussion.
We did.
I do not completely agree that he was the one that bombed that movie. There were a lot of really good cast members in the movie and some shoddy, but
Michael Clark Duncan was the man.
But what I'm really trying to get at is I really don't think that you honestly should judge his performance on a movie that's coming out in like a year and a half, 2 years, based on something that happened about 5 years ago.
I mean, if we go down Ben Affleck lately, Ben Affleck lately's been kicking butt. I mean,
Matter of fact, he got
won
a
an
bunch of
Oscar,
awards.
got 2 Oscars. I mean, people forget this is the guy that was in one of my personal favorite, Mallrats. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Mallrats. I mean, come on, yeah, enough said.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't know, Allie. What you think, Allie?
Personally, I would just wait to see how he performs. I mean, we can't judge until it's done, and I enjoyed him in Argo. I think he can pull off a strong male lead, like, obviously, everything, but, like, I think he could pull off the gruff, angry Batman.
Yeah, one thing that one of my friends brought up to me is that Ben Affleck and George Clooney, they're a lot alike, and I was like, I don't know, Ben Affleck gets mad in movies. George Clooney kind of just laughs, plays it off, and you're like, you know what, that's cool, George, because you're George Clooney.
But I think you could believe him as being Bruce Wayne.
I definitely think you can believe him. I mean,
It's kind of on the topic of the whole casting rumors for Batman. I don't even know if you remember, but right before they finally announced that Ben Affleck was Batman, they were saying that they were offering Christian Bale like millions more money just to come back as Batman.
But he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to. And you know what? I think it's smart. I think it's time to put somebody else in that role. It's not as quite as sporadic, I guess, as the Hulk has been with the 3 different actors. But it's time to give somebody else the mantle. Superman, we already saw how Henry Cavill handled that role, and very well, I must say.
Fantastic.
So I think that it's time to give somebody else the chance to wear the cowl. So.
I definitely agree. I mean, I think everybody was up in the antsies, but people got to remember when Heath Ledger first came out, people was like, "Oh my God, we got this humble cowboy from Brokeback Mountain, this Joker," and people was upset about that.
And you know what? They always want to judge him based on a previous role, which is if you're an actor, then you're going to act differently.
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Josh Brolin, I still think I kind of, sort of might would have rather had, but I'm not upset about it.
You know what? Josh Brolin's Martian Manhunter, just saying.
He might be. Rumor is that Matt Damon's Aquaman. I mean, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Good, I don't know about that.
And kind of rolling.
Allie likes it.
And then kind of rolling on the topic of Man of Steel, how do you guys think about Bryan Cranston finally being Lex Luthor?
I'm stoked.
No,
me too.
Yeah, I mean,
he can pull it off.
I actually just recently had my father get into Breaking Bad, and just seeing him from the first season and just those angry outbursts. I can see him as this very hard-pressed Lex Luthor. Yes. And I don't know if you guys have
owned that role. He would just destroy that role.
He would.
I would just worry about him, honestly, to a certain extent, outshadowing Ben Affleck and them, just because he's so great at that role. I mean, come on, we're talking about the guy that came all the way from the pilot of Malcolm in the Middle when he's standing naked in the kitchen getting his back hair shaved off to being cast as Lex Luthor. This guy has definitely worked his way up. I mean, Bryan Cranston, I feel like if Warner Brothers don't hop on that, I just don't know. I mean,
and you know what? They did confirm that, and this is one thing that I thought really interesting, is they already put in his contract for a 9-movie deal.
Yes.
9
movies.
Yes.
So what I'm hoping for is kind of like a Nick Fury-esque cameo in movies, maybe I don't know, possibly maybe building up, Secret Society supervillains, or just something cool to maybe put as a threat in the
But you
future.
gotta remember though, we gotta hope for this because this is not Marvel Studios.
Correct.
And this is not DC Studios. We all wish it could be DC Studios, but it's Warner Brothers.
And
As
it's
we know.
okay because they do,
It is okay.
they do
It's
micromanage and they
it's
have
okay.
been doing all right.
It is okay, but they only micromanage really with Batman. I mean, the only thing that I can honestly say that so far I have honestly liked from Warner Brothers is that they said that they don't want to use Marshawn as Luthor, who they originally wanted, because they wanted to keep him as Sinestro. And if that is true, that kind of shows that they're trying to keep the continuity of Green Lantern, even though it wasn't publicly receptive. Just because Marshawn, let's just be straightforward, was probably really the only good thing about that movie.
Yeah.
Even though he was only in it for 15 minutes. I mean, he was like only really the good thing about the movie.
Yeah, he was a strong leading role, and I feel like he would be a fun
We
one
can
so
really
far.
hope so. It's just I don't want to like get the hopes of it. As you know, I love DC more than the average nerd, but we got to remember they don't have their own studios, and that has always been their biggest problem. You have a big universe of superheroes, and you just never get to use them. Unlike other people over at certain studios called Marvel Studios, who just did a really big casting, huh?
They did.
Yeah.
You wanna tell us about that?
James Spader, Ultron.
I'm
I don't
liking
know.
it.
Allie's kind of
I don't
flabbergasted.
have any.
Yeah,
See,
she don't know how to feel.
understand.
About
See,
it.
the difference between the two previous actors that we have to say is that unless they do motion capture, I feel like this guy might just be playing the voice, much like they have for Rocket Raccoon.
I mean, I'm not
It
gonna
may
lie.
just be
I
something.
did see him. He looks kind of old in the picture, so I'm thinking maybe that would it be most likely.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they
I
can do so many things with movies.
I
these
just don't
days.
know how to feel about it. I mean, I guess he worked with Robert Downey Jr. in Less Than Zero back a while ago. I mean, that was years ago. I mean, so I guess he has some type of experience with RDJ. So, hey, now thinking about it, that could play off each other because, spoiler alert, if you consider a spoiler alert, Jarvis is going to be Ultron in the movie. They just had the storyboards leaked saying that Jarvis is going to be Ultron. Basically, he's going to turn evil, which you already know I don't approve of, and I can sit up here and rant about forever about how that is really dumb, but whatever.
Yes,
That's
but I can
okay.
you can also, well, at least I can relate to it about what's very popular in movies today is the whole apocalyptic kind of thing where AIs become sentient. So this is something that moviegoers can believe, and putting it into the Avengers as Tony Stark's
I don't
kind of
know, yo.
robot.
I don't know, yo. The Avengers ain't our robot, yo. Our robot was really tough.
It was.
Our robot was really tough.
They're actually teaching robots how to make their own language, and we don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Science.
I mean, good thing I won't be alive when they took over the world. Most likely.
And what I'm actually kind of flabbergasted about is the fact that they casted anybody for Ultron. I feel like if they really worked it well, I feel like they could have done like a digitized voice, considering that he is a robot. I don't know.
I want to know, how did they even come up with James Spader? Like, I just really want to know how this guy got casted. Not to, like, knock on him or nothing. It's just, like, out of all the people, it's just, like, so random. It's like the most random casting to me. As soon as I hear James Spader, I'm thinking, like, oh my god, Maggie Gyllenhaal is going to be Miss Marvel. We want to get some domination play from Secretary in the movie, you know? But maybe not. You know? I just really want to know, hey, where did James Spader come from? Did James Spader really come in there like, hey, yo, what's up, yo? I want to be Ultron. Or did RDJ like, yo, I got a guy that I worked with a long time ago. He'll be great for this role, you know? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think, like I said, I just think it's interesting that they tried to voice cast Ultron. You know, I can say one of the things I did like about Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the TV show, is that they did so well with the Ultron voice. I almost wish they casted that guy.
Yeah, but you already know, we can't get what we want. Us
Right.
comic book fanboys are never satisfied.
But you know what? It's a movie for a general audience, not just us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, alright, guys. Well, that's basically it for the group discussion today. So we'll leave you out with the famous words. And that's what Darryl K Says.
Did we? I tried looking it up. Someone had told me Robin